aware of what you share. So what we're going to do is kind of do a split screen here where we'll have the questions on one side and the pertinent information on the other. So for part one, I'm just going to click on the Snapchat terms of service. And then what we're going to do is just move that over to the right-hand side. So then as far as the important information, so it says, what is the first type of information that Snapchat collects about you? Give an example. So if we scroll down, there's three basic categories. So this is important information right here for question one, as well as this sentence right here. Username, password, email address, phone number, date of birth. Then the second type of information that Snapchat collects about you, so for question two, this right here that's highlighted, this is important information we get when you use our services. So if you scroll down to that part, here is an example of some important information that's highlighted in blue. And then finally, what is the third type of information that Snapchat collects about you? If you scroll down to the next heading, this is important right here where it says information we collect from third parties. And then these next two bullets, those are important for answering question three. And then finally, question four, give an example of information that Snapchat shares about you. If you scroll down, there's a heading, how we share information. And so this is some information that you could use. This stuff highlighted in blue here is important to add for question four. Okay, then if we scroll down to the next page, part two, cookies, not the food. So cookies are small text files placed on your device by the sites you visit that collect information about your device and your activity. What we're going to do here on the right-hand side is we're going to follow the directions here, click the three dots in the top right corner of your browser and click settings. So that's what we're going to do here, dots, and then settings. And then what you're going to do is type the word cookies up at the top where you see the search icon. And so the important stuff is, what steps did you have to take to disable cookies from your browser? Please be detailed. So the important stuff is you clicked three dots, top right, settings, then you typed cookies up at the top, and then scroll down, click on content settings, click on cookies, and then uncheck allow sites to save and read cookie data. So that's the important stuff for this question right here. Then we're going to scroll down to part three, scenarios. So some of the important stuff here is that we have a boy, Pete, and he's looking for sneakers, and he found them on an online store, Zapp's. And the next day, when he went on his computer, he started seeing ads for the exact shoes and for the online store that he had visited. So how did the advertising company know he was interested in those shoes? Well, think about what we just did over here with unchecking allow sites to save and read cookie data. So probably Pete didn't do that. So that's important information for question one. And then question two, if Pete didn't want to be tracked by the advertising company, what could he have done differently? Think about what we just did over here on the right with disabling cookies. And so he should have done that before he was doing his online shopping. So then the last part has to do with girl Ava. And basically what happens is Ava and her teammates go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and they post photos on Instagram of themselves and their buffalo wings. And then the next day when Ava goes on Instagram, she sees an advertisement for Buffalo Wild Wings. And so she wants to know, why did the advertisements for Buffalo Wild Wings appear on Instagram and as well on another app? Well, that information, what we're going to do is if you just open up a new tab and then search Instagram terms of service. And this is going to bring up the stuff that's about Instagram that's similar to what we learned about what Snapchat collects. So you're just going to click on that, and then on the right-hand side, click on Data Policy. And you're going to notice, it's just loading for a second, that it gives what kinds of information do we collect. So basically, you'll notice that it says We collect the content, communications, and other information you provide when you use our products. So basically, they collected that she was at Buffalo Wild Wings. And also another important part is that when we scroll down to how do we use this information, another important part is that it says we use the information that we collected to personalize features and content, including your news feed, Instagram stories, and ads, especially ads. Very important there. So they collect information that you give and they use it to personalize ads. So that's really important for question 3. And then if Ava didn't want to be tracked by the advertising company, what could she have done differently? Basically, she shouldn't have posted the picture on Instagram if she didn't want to be tracked, because of the fact that when she joined Instagram, she already agreed to